Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that came in the most recent Curated bead box. The one for December 2023. It's called Treasure Chest. I'll put a link in the corner of this video and in the description box below to the unboxing video I did for this subscription, in case you want to go back and watch it, where I go into a little bit more detail about all the beads that came in the box and everything and how it works. It's $20 a month, and that includes shipping in the United States. I don't think they ship outside of the United States. I have a coupon code. It's Teresa35, and I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below, along with a link to the page to sign up for the subscription if you're interested. The coupon will save you 35% off your first box, so your first box would be $13. And here I've got the 10mm silver crackle glass beads. And here I've got some beads that was in the one of them, the Sparkle and Shine Designer Glass Bead Mix, which I am absolutely convinced they named after me. Because y'all know how I love Sparkle and Shine. And here I've got some of the 8mm silver metal square spacer beads. I've got some of the bead stringing wire that came in the box and some stopper beads, or bead stoppers. I've got 3 of the jump rings that came in the box. They're 6mm, I think. I've got one 8mm jump ring from my stash, a lobster clasp, and a ball head pin, because y'all know I'm going to have to make a dangle to go off the extender chain. I'm going to probably put this chain on it and use this chain also for extender chain. I'm going to be doing this a little bit different than I normally do. I always have everything exactly planned out and all my beads counted out, and I know exactly what my design is going to be. And this time I'm going to just kind of wing it and design it on video. I don't know what I'm going to do, is what I'm trying to say. And I normally know what I'm going to do, and that's scary for me. But I decided to try this because I know a lot of you are beginners in beading, and you have asked me before about how I go about designing a piece, and I thought I would just do it from start to finish with you all and show you what I do when I'm trying to put a piece together. It usually takes me forever to figure out how I want to put a piece together, so I never do it like this. But I thought I'd try it, and like I said, it's very scary for me because I like to be prepared and know exactly what I'm going to do. But I'm going to try to do this. I'll be using my chain nose pliers, probably my tweezer pliers. I always seem to need them for something. Both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers, my round nose pliers, both pairs of my crimping pliers, and both pairs of my cutters. And I think that's everything. I'll put links to everything in the description box I can find links for. So hold on, and I'll get some of these beads poured out, and we'll try to figure out what I'm going to do here, and I'll be back. Okay, I've got my beads out here, and I've separated them out by the types of beads so that I know how many I've got of everything. And another thing I'm going to be doing different is I'm not using any bead caps at all. I know, that's crazy. But I'm going to try not to use any bead caps at all. And I'm going to try not to put spacer beads between each and every bead like I always do. Of course, I'm going to use some of these spacer beads. And I guess these little flat beads here would be considered spacer beads. They were in that mix, I think. So I guess they would be considered spacer beads. I don't know how many I'm going to use of those or anything. I don't know what I'm doing here, but but I'm going to try not to put spacers between each and every bead like I always do. And I don't even have any bead caps out, so I'm going to try not to use bead caps, and hopefully my head won't explode. But I'm going to start with, I only have one of these, so I'm going to make that my focal. And whenever I make a piece, I always start with the focal, and then I just build, each side up. And I keep these spacer beads near and dear, because if I don't, I'm going to drop everything in the floor. I could probably open a bead store with all the beads that are in my floor. So I've got to decide what I want to put on either side of him. I think I'll try one of these little flat beads here. And I do it, oh, I forgot to say, I've got a piece of the wire cut. It's a little over half of what the wire was that came in the box. I think it's about maybe 22 or 23 inches I've got cut here. And I'm going to put another bead on the other side. And doing it this way, that way I know I've got enough beads for each side rather than making one side at a time, and then maybe I won't have enough beads for the other side if I want to make it symmetrical. Of course, I don't always make everything symmetrical, but I think I'm going to do this symmetrical. So, and I try to do the larger beads toward the bottom and then do the smaller beads as I go up. So I think I'll use maybe 3 of these big silver crackle glass beads on each side. Without a spacer between them, and try not to panic. Okay, so that's what I got now. So now I got to figure out what I want to put on here. I'll try another one of these flat spacers. Okay. I've only got 2 of these big beads, so I'm going to put one of these on each side. Okay. I think I'll do another flat spacer on each side of these. And that's what I got now. Now, I want to get some of these spacers in here. See, try one of these on each side and see what it looks like. And when I do this, I try to just get a few of each, a few of the beads that I know I want to use. If I take all the beads that's in the box out and get them out here, it's hard for me because I want to use all the beads, and I can't make a decision if I have every single bead that's in the box out. So I just try to just pick out a few of the beads that I want to use, and it's easier to decide what I want to use. Let's see now. Do I want another flat spacer? I don't know. I guess that might be alright. Now, I think I'll do maybe 3 more of these on each side. There's that thread. I swear there's a thread that never bothers me until I'm making these videos. And then it comes out and attacks me every time. Okay, let's see. I'm risking not putting my bead stoppers on here while I'm doing this. I hope things don't... I've got plenty of wire here though, so hopefully I can keep it from falling in the floor and not have to be taking my top bead off and on every minute. Okay, now let's see. Guess I'll do another one of these flat spacers on each side of these. And maybe another one of these spacers. And then, let's see. I've got these, I got two of these, so I want to put one of these on each side. Okay, I don't like that. I think I want to, I think I want to try one of these flat beads and then that bead. Yeah, I think maybe I like that better. Okay. And then maybe another one of these on each side. Okay. I think I want maybe at least one more of these on each side. It's kind of hard to see the hole in these crackle beads with all that crackle going on inside of them. Okay, I'll do another one of these. I'm running out of these little flat beads here. Okay, let's see. I think I've got some of these smaller beads here, smaller kind of oval beads. I think I'll maybe do 3 of these on each side. Let me get these out of the way and see what this looks like. That's not too bad, but I don't know. I think I want some more of these crackle beads up here. I think I'll put 2 more on each side. I don't know if y'all can hear my heater in the background. I've had to put my space heater on in here because my husband's got it freezing in here. He's very hot-natured, and I am too. I always have been, but not as much as he is. He freezes me to death. Of course, I think I'm getting to where I'm getting more colder-natured in my older age. Okay, what'd I do? I didn't take these off to put my 3 on this side. I actually meant to turn that heater off before I started this, and I forgot. Okay, let's see. I got those 3 on that side. And now I think I'll do another one of these on each side, these flat ones. Have I got the same thing on each side? I think I do, yeah. Now I think I'll put these, wait, I don't think I want another one of these spacers. See, this is what happens. This is why my necklaces turn out to be so long, because I want to use all the beads. I don't want to stop. I want to keep putting beads. And my necklaces end up terribly long. Okay. Now, I can't put any more of these. I've only got one flat spacer, so I can't put any more of those on each side. I think I'll just go with these 3 on each end here. Okay, so let's see here. That's what I've got. I think maybe that'll be alright. I think I can live with that. I've got one more of these. I'll use him as my dangle. The rest of these out of the way here. Let me put some bead stoppers on here and measure and see how long this is. It is big ruler here, or my big measuring tape here. Well, we're at 16 inches here, so it's plenty long enough, but of course I'll have to put a little bit of chain on it because that's what I do. I forgot too, when I got my supplies out, I had completely forgot I needed a couple of crimp tubes and a couple of wire guards, so I got those out. So I'm going to try to crimp it here now. I'm going to commit to this design and try to crimp it here now. So I'm going to put my crimp tube on and my wire guard in. I'm going to squish in my little wire guard in a little bit, very carefully because they're very delicate. And I have destroyed many of them over the years. Now I'm going to come down the other channel of my wire guard in. This wire is thicker than what I'm used to using. Now I'm going to go through my crimp tube again. I'm going to keep my wires from getting crossed. I'll hold them apart. Try to anyway. Push my crimp tube up there. Separate my wires. Pull this down so there's none of that wire sticking out the top. And now I'm going to take these crimping pliers and go on the part there that has the little tooth and lay the tooth on top of my crimp tube and squeeze. And that puts each wire in its own little channel there. Now I'm going to go on the part that's got the half circles on each side. I'm going to go on that second one because that's the one for the 2x2 crimp tubes. And I'm going to squeeze. And go down just a little bit and squeeze again. Now I'm going to tug. That's good. Now I'm going to cut off my extra wire. Now I'm going to push all this down. crimp this side. I'm going to coil it up here so that, I mean, I want it to be tight enough that I don't see any wire, but I don't want it to be too tight. If it's too tight, it won't drape well. So I'll put my other crimp tube on, and if I coil it up like this, it usually keeps it from getting too tight. I'm going to put my other wire guardian on. Squish my little wire guardian in. See, I told you I'd need these. I'd use these tweezer pliers. I always seem to find something to use them for, even if I think I'm not going to need to. I'm going to go down the other channel of my wire guardian. And I don't know where my crimp tube, there it is. Back through my crimp tube. Hold my wires apart, and I try to go through a bead on this side because it centers your wire guardian over your last bead there better. Plus, I can pull down here with my hand and get my hand out of the way. It's harder to crimp on this side because all the beads are in the way and my hand's in the way, and if I can get my hand out of the way, it's helpful. Okay, now I'm going to take these crimping pliers again and go in the part with the tooth, lay it on my crimp tube and squeeze. I'm going to turn it over and go in that half circle part and squeeze again. Go down a little bit and squeeze a little bit more. Now I'm going to tug. That's good, thank goodness. I'm going to cut off my extra wire. Okay, so that's what I've got. So now I'm going to take, well, I need to get me some chain. Let's see how long this is now. With the crimps on it, it is, well, it's still just a little over 16 inches, close to 16 and a half. So I usually make them about 21 inches. So I'll do about 5 inches of my chain here. And then I'll cut it in half, or take it apart. These lengths of this chain are big enough you don't have to cut them, you can take them apart. When I do cut chain, I use my memory wire cutters because I don't want to use my these cutters, because if I do, it'll wear them out really quickly. So I use my memory wire cutters to cut chain. So let's see, this is about 5 inches right here. So I'm gonna this chain is easy to take apart, but it's the way it's shaped. When I'm trying to take it apart, it sort of slides out of my pliers. I need to get some flat nose pliers. I think that would help. I don't have any of all the pliers I have accumulated over the years. I don't have any flat nose ones. Okay. Close this back. Probably have helped if I'd taken a little bit more off the spool there. Give myself a little more room, because I knew this was going to slip when I'm trying to do this. Okay, now I'm going to take see if I can find a head pin here somewhere. Eye pin. Of course, these links are big enough I could count them, but I don't want to make y'all wait while I count links. So This is half of my chain. So I'm going to open this one, take this off, close this back, check it again and make sure it's equal. And it is, so we're good. So now I'm going to take my /6mm jump rings and open them up and put on my chain on one side of my necklace. Close it up. Sure to get it closed really well. Just gonna do this on the other side. Okay, now I'm going to take another 6mm jump ring and my lobster clasp. Put my lobster clasp on. Okay, now before I take my extender chain off my spool here, I'm going to make my dangle. I use this last little oval bead I've got. Put it on my ball head pin. Well, I think I am. Ball head pin must be bent, but don't want to go through. There it goes. Okay, now I'm going to take my pliers, go to the very tip of the pliers, bend at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers, put them in the crook of the bend, around those pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the bead, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, take this part up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead, take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop, bring my wire down a little bit, take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers, start to wrap. Just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. I'm going to take my cutters and cut off the extra wire, and I use a different pair of cutters to do this than to cut my bead stringing wire. I'm going to take these crimping pliers and go in the part there at the end that has the half circle on each end. You tuck in my wire, or my burr where I cut off my wire. Now I'm going to cut me off a piece, or take off a piece of chain here for extender. I usually use about 5 of these links. That's just the number I've decided I like. So I'm going to take this off, and then before I close it back, I'm going to put my little dangle on here, and I bet y'all thought I forgot. Which I usually always do. But I did that on purpose because I knew I was going to be opening it anyway to take it off of there. Get this out of the way. Now I'm going to take my 8mm jump ring. Open it up. Put it on here with my extender chain. And we're all done. So, we're all done. And my head didn't explode from not using spacers and bead caps. And I did it all without having my plan all planned out like I usually do. Hold on, let me get some of this stuff put up, and I'll try to get it laid out, and I'll be back. Okay, so while y'all were gone, I decided why not make an earring, a pair of earrings with, I had a couple of these big crackle glass beads left, and in that mix there were a few smaller beads that are just like that, and I had a couple of spacer beads left, so I decided to make some earrings. So I'm going to make this other one with you all. So I'm going to put my large bead on my ball head pin, and I'm going to go to the very tip of my pliers, make a 90-degree bend, around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend, around those pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the bead, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, take this part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead, take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop, bring my wire down, take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Make sure to get that first wrap in under the bottom of the loop and not over the bottom of the loop. Now I'm going to take my cutters, cut off my extra wire, take my crimping pliers and tuck in my little burr. I've got a piece of my 22 gauge German style wire. I'll go down about 1.5 inches or so, bend over at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers in the crook of the bend, bend the wire back until it hits the tool, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, take this part up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. Open my loop and thread on my little dangle I've made here. Close my loop back. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Take my wire down. Wrap the shorter piece of wire around the longer piece of wire about 3 times. I'll take my cutters and cut off my extra wire. I'm going to take my smaller crackle glass bead and put it on here. Take my pliers, go to the very tip of the pliers. Bend over at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers in the crook of the bend. Round those pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take this part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. That usually stands your little wire almost straight up. Hold on to my wire, or my loop. Bring my wire down. Take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. It's wrapped, there's no more room to wrap. And take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. Take my crimping pliers and tuck in my little burrs. Now I've got a eye pin. I'm gonna open my eye pin and thread on the little earring I've got made here. Close my eye pin. Make sure to get it closed well. I'm going to take my spacer bead and put it on here. Take my pliers, go a little bit above the bead, bend over at a 90-degree angle. My cutters and cut off, leaving about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. Around those pliers. Go to the very end of the pin, make sure there's no wire sticking out. Roll back a loop. I think my loops are not facing the same way. I'll have to fix that. Just keep rolling till you get it closed up really well. They're not at all facing the same way. And take my pliers, this pair of pliers, twist until both my loops are facing the same way. I'm going to take this loop that I just made and thread on my ear wire. Close my loop back up. Oh, there's my little earring. So, hold on now. I'll try to get it all laid out and I'll be back. Okay, there's my necklace and pair of earrings made with some of the beads and findings from the most recent curated bead box, the one for December 2023, called Treasure Chest. A necklace that I did not have already planned out ahead of time. And a pair of earrings I didn't even expect to make, but that happened, so I guess it turned out okay. Like I said, if you are not subscribed to the curated bead box and you decide you want to be, that coupon code will save you 35% off your first box if you sign up. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.